Hey everybody, it's Dragon Tears here. So, also if you didn't notice, I dropped the actual. So yeah, I'm just Dragon Tears now. Anyway, today I want to talk about something that I thought of when I was working on this beauty. It's just a suppressor. And that got me thinking, where is the suppressor for the other shotguns? We have it for the SASG, but that's it. That's the only shotgun that has a suppressor. And yeah, it's unique, it's barely ever used. And so, in a combination of talking about the other shotguns getting a suppressor, let's talk about maybe the suppressor being buffed for shotguns. So let's get into it. So first off, we all know that the SASG is the only shotgun with a suppressor. But what if the other ones had suppressors? Of course, first thing that comes to mind is the Remington 870 that the GSG-9 has. That thing with the silencer, and more importantly, the operators who have that, would be kind of a really good combo. They're fast, they're quiet, and they would be able to roam with a shotgun more effectively than they can now. Of course, they can still roam with a shotgun, but think about it. You're sneaking up on a group of enemies, and there's 3 of them there. They're moving in a group. Shield, Thermite, and someone else behind him. And so you are managed to shoot the guy in the back, and they're going to get the death notification that, someone died. But at the same time, they won't know where exactly it came from, because if it's anything near as quiet as the SASG is, that thing is, it sounds like a... In all honesty, it sounds like a Nerf gun, just pew 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 pew. So you could kill the guy in the back. They might think like, oh, whoa, where did that come from? They might even not think that it's from behind them. It's in front of them, like someone has a nasty angle on them. And then from there, you can just push on forward and down or kill the other 2 guys. So that's just one of those really interesting things to think about. And it's kind of makes you think, how come the Spetsnaz got the suppressor for the shotguns? Because they don't really need it. They're 3 armor, 1 speed, they're bulky, they're loud, they're slow. They can't really use it effectively. But if you give it to someone like Jaeger or Bandit, they can. Or even someone like Smoke or Mute with their shotguns. Granted, I believe, don't get me wrong, if I'm not wrong, they are 2 speed and 2 armor, so they're still faster while still have a little bit of armor in them, and they can use their pump action shotgun with a suppressor to sneak around. And it probably would be especially effective with Smoke, being able to, say, distract somebody with Smoke, or even better, use it to cover his advance, throw it on a guy, and then sneak in through the smoke, because he can actually, breathe it. And then that leaves us with the other 2, the FBI and the GIGN. The GIGN, as you guys, if you have watched my channel for a while, know, I love their shotgun. The SGCQB is one of my favorite guns in the game, simply because I find it really consistent. I find it downs and kills people most of the time. Not to mention, I am a big fan of the animation and sounds for the gun. So, imagine putting a silencer on that gun. Suppressor, my bad. Granted, both operators are 3 armor, 2 speed. You can't really roam very well with them. You could slap it on Doc and be one of those selfish Doc players that just tank everything. So yeah, you could just sneak up on a group of enemies, shoot one, get shot, heal up, go back out, shoot another guy, have the 3rd guy or whatnot get confused because he doesn't know where he got shot from. And yeah, that'd be super effective. And then, of course, oh, don't even get me started about the FBI. Think about Pulse with a silencer. Running around, detecting people through walls, shooting them, and not having people hear it. So, you're just walking, and all of a sudden, you just see a guy die right next to you. And sure, you see a hole in the wall, but that's all you see. You don't see any, or you don't hear anything. So... You got to start, of course, spraying through the wall, like freaking out, but you don't know exactly where he shot you from because he can move, and then you can sneak up behind him and just shoot him that way. in the back with your suppressor. That'd be that actually sounds pretty cool in my opinion. Just kind of a silent killer kind of thing. He doesn't even need to see his enemy. And then, of course, you have the few operators who have shotguns on the attackers, such as Sledge and Thermite. And those are just two that come to mind. I think Twitch also has some, and so on. Think about them with them. You wouldn't be able to roam, but at the same time, you would be able to advance a lot quieter while having this killing power of, well, a shotgun. I know Sledge with his shotgun and rushing is a very good combo, and that a lot of people do it. So just imagine that, rushing in with Sledge, busting open a hole through the wall, jumping in, shooting a guy with a suppressed shotgun, having two other people probably in the same room notice that there's a guy dead in the room, but they might not know you're in yet. Because I know a lot of people, when they play, they don't hear the sledgehammer. I don't know, I guess it's just not as loud as like a barricade or, of course, a breaching charge, obviously. So you could smash in semi-stealthily, jump in, shoot a guy with a shotgun that's suppressed and, well, it's quiet, kill a guy, and they might turn, of course, to where the guy died, but at that point, they don't realize you're in the room, and you can rush up to them and kill them as well. And then, same goes for really any other operator. You can have Thermite breach in, quickly rush in, and shoot a guy with his suppressed shotgun and have them be confused at what's going on, because they wouldn't hear it as clearly. And I might think it's in like the distance and be confused by it. So let's get into the buffs though that I was thinking about it, because a lot of people don't use the Saiga or the SASG's silencer, big suppressor, because it's simply, at least it was a bad attachment. Like I said, we don't really have an accurate depiction of it because, well, I mean, they're 3 armor, 1 speed, and barely ever going to leave the room, and of course the lower damage on it is going to hurt them a lot. But if you think about it, it might not need a buff in general, because if it goes to one of these 3-speed operators or even 2-speed, they can rush around with it, sneak up behind people, and use it to its true effectiveness. But if people are still not a fan of it because of the lower damage, one way you can balance it out is you can have a lower recoil for it. Think about it though. Silencers, of course, are actually pretty well known to lower recoil, especially in shotguns, because the things are heavy. Those things are really heavy at the end of the barrel. So when you fire, instead of it kicking up like a mule, it will essentially act like a heavy barrel and keep the gun from kicking as high. So as a trade-off for less damage, you can have less recoil, and that could be good for some of these spam fire weapons, kind of like the SASG and the M1014, because we all know once we start firing maybe 2 or 3 shots, it starts getting out of hand. The sights are everywhere, and at that point, it is really the definition of spay and pray. But if you had it so that it reduced the recoil, you could effectively not spray, but you can effectively start shooting a guy without having to worry about pointing at the sky when you're done with it. So yeah, those were my thoughts on, well, the suppressor. Why don't we have it on other shotguns, and why don't we have a buff for it to make it better? Thanks for watching, guys. Leave a like if you liked the video, and as well as leave a comment down below. Do you want to see suppressors for shotguns, or do you kind of like keeping it to the Spetsnaz only? I'd love to hear your opinions. Thanks for watching, guys, again, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.